going to show you exactly how I was able to get big as a natural calisthenics athlete. Now, objectively speaking, I'm a pretty big guy, wide shoulders, big back, decently big arms, and to add on to that, yes, I'm 100% natural, bro, and that's no cap. So this physique that I achieved is very, very achievable, but I'm not going to lie to you, it was not easy to acquire, which leads on to the first point of this video. As a natural athlete, you need to be extremely patient and consistent. So I've been training for the last 5 years now, and I never went more than 1 to 2 weeks without going to the gym or having some kind of like planned out workout routine. Also, my nutrition has been pretty on point too all throughout these years, especially during the times where I've been starting my lean bulks or going through like cutting phases. And just even outside of that, I've still managed to like hit my caloric intake just to maintain my muscle mass, and also getting my dedicated protein for the day. So this is all done through 5 years. I don't slack, but that doesn't mean I'm super strict unless I'm like in a particular cutting or bulking phase. But outside of that, it's very easy to just hit your calorie needs and protein intake. But if you're just not doing it on a week-to-week basis, let alone a month-to-month basis, right, you're not going to be seeing the results that I achieve. That said, if you don't have the patience or work ethic to stay consistent, then there's definitely no way that you're going to be achieving a physique like this or any other calisthenic athlete, as a natural, that is. And on the topic of nutrition, this actually leads on to the second point of this video, entering a lean bulk phase. Guys, it's super important that you enter a bulking phase and stay within a calorie surplus for at least a year. I truly believe that if you want to maximize your overall strength and muscle size and muscle mass, then the best way to do that as a natural, outside of like training hard and having, decently good nutrition, is to stay in a calorie surplus. That's really what's going to be the number one driver for giving your body a reason to even build muscle, right? Because to be honest, going on a lean bulk is very necessary. And I think, and based on what other folks as well within the calisthenics community or even just fitness community in general will say, that the first bulk is going to take care of your 70 to 80% foundational base regarding your physique. So if you did your first bulk right, you took your time with it, right? You didn't BS the calorie intake, you didn't rush it, you were hitting your protein on a pretty consistent basis, and you're training hard, that first year-long bulk is going to have pretty much 70 to 80% of that foundational physique. Because I've only done 2 extended bulks in my lifetime, and don't get me wrong, there's been differences between my first bulk where I weighed at 196 pounds and my second bulk weighing at 205 pounds, which in my opinion, it was the fact that I ended up just looking leaner at a heavier body weight at the end of my second bulk. But to the average eye, the general population, they're pretty identical. That said, I recommend gaining no more than 2 to 3 pounds per month as a natural calisthenics athlete, with the priority of not only building muscle, but improving in your relative strength, such as your static skills, advanced dynamic movements, or even your basic movements like the chin-ups or dips. This is so crucial because the premise of calisthenics training is to train with your own body weight. And the one universal theme that all calisthenic athletes do is to try to perform at their best by staying relatively lean, meaning they're wanting to be between 12 to like 15, maybe 16% body fat, and essentially stick within that range for them to perform at a higher rate. Otherwise, if they go above that body fat percentage range, like they start entering the 18, 19, 20% body fat territory, they're going to find that they're going to be losing not only their static skills, but just their ability to perform at just the bare minimum, right? It's going to be very hard for you to start doing like handstand push-ups, front levers, weighted dips, weighted chin-ups at a much higher body fat percentage. So if I was you, I'd even cap the limit to just no more than 17% body fat whenever you're entering a bulk. So make sure that you're gaining no more than 2 to 3 pounds per month and take that bulk relatively slow. Don't rush it. There's really no need to rush these things, okay? Now, the third thing that really helped build my current physique really just stems down to my training, which I believe was mainly from specializing in weighted calisthenics. This included the weighted pull-ups, weighted chin-ups, and the weighted dips. Now, I won't go into detail for like how I trained them or for how long I trained each exercise, but Here's the main gist of things. If you want to train your back, there's no greater exercise that holistically trains your back as the pull-ups. And if you start adding weight on top of that and get to a point of doing just 90 pounds for at least 5 reps, you're going to have a back that competes with those who train movements like the lat pull down in 5 different angles. Literally, you will compare it in a similar, if not better way by just training one exercise, but one quality exercise like the weighted pull-ups. And that's no cap. Now, and I can confidently say this too for my biceps. I legit stopped training and focusing on the weighted pull up for 2 years now and only focused on training the weighted chin up, which led to developing my biceps, okay? And just like that, boom. After 2 years of just specializing with the weighted chin ups, getting to a point of being able to do 145 pounds for 3 reps on the chin ups, like my biceps grew, it exploded the same way that I did with my back with the weighted pull ups. I just kind of shifted the focus on my biceps with the weighted chin ups itself. So this also again applies to if you want to get a bigger chest or triceps, just do the weighted dips, man. What I'm pretty much trying to say is if you want to grow the most amounts of muscle in the right areas without overcomplicating things, I suggest you stick to these time-tested compound movements and aim for the purpose of training them weighted within the 3 to 10 rep ranges. Do that 2 times per week, train close or till failure, and you'll be straight. Like, no cap, man. Honestly, tell me this, man. Who do you know that has a great weighted chin up or weighted pull up with a lagging back or bicep? Who you know has a great weighted dip with a lagging chest or triceps? Now, unless you got some like genetical imbalances, you're not going to be finding many of these people with these problems. And that's simply because they actually work. And finally, the 4th way that helped me build my current physique is by learning the handstand push-ups. Now, don't think I forgot about having delts into the equation, because having a wide frame with your shoulders is what essentially builds that muscular physique. And to be quite frank, man, the journey of learning the handstand push-ups and even obtaining it is what pretty much got me to that point. Now, I won't cap though and say that what everybody needs to be doing is handstand push-ups without the wall to get bigger delts, because that is not true. You do not need to be doing freestanding handstand push-ups to build bigger shoulders. If somebody tells you that, then just know that they're capping there, all right? Because from a hypertrophy standpoint, there's too many moving parts that doesn't allow you to train close till or even to failure. But if you want to focus on just obtaining that skill, then go ahead. That's pretty much the route I took, but I did have a more hypertrophy-centric route of training the handstand push-ups while also learning how to do it without the wall. So if you want to focus on just getting more muscular, then aiming for the wall handstand push-ups should be your goal, which even for me can be very difficult with some modifications to the setup and range of motion. Now, I will forever stand by this, but doing the wall handstand push-ups or even just the pike push-ups with your feet elevated will easily rival the standing or seated overhead press, whether it's with the dumbbell or barbell. Now, I personally only train the handstand push-ups without the wall with different technical approaches. One session where I'm focusing on more technique-based, doing deep handstand push-ups for no more than double or triple repetitions per set. Another session where I'm focused on going till failure, doing as many reps as possible, and sticking to that 2 to 3 set up to like 5 to 6 rep scheme. And this is just me using like the standard floor handstand push-up progression or variation. Then I have a final session where I'm focusing more on volume. And as recently I started doing more of the handstand press, or I like to call it too the handstand push-up positive, where I'm just focusing on pressing up into the handstand. And that kind of just helps not only specify specifically for the freestanding handstand push-up with the the instability factor of getting into the handstand, but just also getting some extra volume for pressing up your own body weight multiple times. And after a couple of reps, it does get pretty fatiguing, but fatiguing, is that even a word? Anyways, y'all know what I mean. At the end of the day, it still fits my criteria for not only learning the handstand push-ups without the wall, but getting enough shoulder volume to actually build muscle and stay within that hypertrophy range for the week. And this is all done by like managing my intensities, my rep ranges, and just the progression or variation of the actual handstand push-ups, which all pretty much led to the current development of my physique. But hey, what do I know? If you want to see more content like this, be sure to follow me, man. I'm the Tough Fitness Guy out here, no cap.
Cobra Trains, he's up next. Make sure y'all subscribe to him. He's #1 out here.
He's the toughest fitness guy out here.